I believe getting pregnant or having children is something that is expected of women a little bit after they get married. Being pregnant, you are expected to act a way or do certain things that I never imagined.
People think it's okay to still touch your belly, even if they don't know you. People think it's okay to comment on your pregnancy.
And the way to plan your pregnancy or to plan your birth.
People think it's okay to ask about really intimate questions about your childbirth experience.
This is my second pregnancy because I was pregnant for about almost 3 months and I had a miscarriage. And in Spanish, it's harder to talk about this because we don't have the word miscarriage. We say natural abortion. So it's more of a shocker. Yeah, there's sometimes that even ask what did she do wrong? I remember once with a very close friend that I was about a month and a half pregnant and we were gonna have dinner and I took my bike to her house. And when I got there, she really scolded me of how I cannot be on a bike, that it's super dangerous, to the level that when I had to leave her house, she didn't let me get on my bike and go back home. For me, just having a very close friend really going out of her way for not letting me do something. And after that, having the miscarriage of and asking myself, did I do something wrong, was very hard.
Because of the way the human body is designed, humans suffer more than any other primate during delivery. In recent history, the cultural expectations for natural birth, or the cult of natural childbirth, has made women feel like failures for having C-sections. Some cultures don't approve of pain medication because pain is expected during birth.
My first pregnancy was great. It was great. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. It was exciting to have all those feelings and experience all of that. And then 6 months, a couple things happened. It went crazy. For one, the doctor that I had was killed in a car accident. And I had this new doctor, and all of a sudden I gained a ton of weight. So when I went to my next doctor's appointment to meet this new doctor, and she immediately put me in the hospital. So what happened was I had preeclampsia, high blood pressure in pregnancy. I went into the hospital. She said my blood pressure was shooting up through the roof. They put me on medication that slows down your labor. I'm there. They do all these tests. They decide they have to induce. He needs to come out. It took 3 days. 3 days for that kid to come into the world. I wanted to have him naturally so badly. It didn't work. I pushed for about 8 hours. I completely destroyed my stomach muscles. He just wouldn't. And at that moment, I looked at her and I said, okay, let's do a C-section. So I ended up having a C-section. And I was in the ICU for 3 days after he was born. It all worked out, but it was terrifying, traumatic. I felt like I punked out by having a C-section because all I could keep thinking was women have babies every day. How come I couldn't have this little tiny 5-pound baby? And, why did they have to cut him out? And I didn't feel like a strong woman at that point. And it messed with me.
There is a large disparity in the treatment that patients receive based on location, class, and race. Women of color in pain are oftentimes simply not believed.
I specifically went to a hospital that tends to treat more people of color than not.
Another side that was, I think, harder in my miscarriage when I went to the emergency room to a hospital. It was 1 o'clock at night in a Sunday, so I didn't really talk to anyone to be better prepared for this. I had this process in which they scrape the uterus. It was a procedure in which I was told that if I didn't do it, I could get infected and it could be deadly. In my second pregnancy with a doctor I like much more, he basically told me that that was a complete lie, that there's no way to get infected. It's something a lot of doctors do sometimes to get a bit more pay, but basically I didn't get that choice. So it's one of the many things that happen because we're not so informed. My company, it's called KPAD, and we do postpartum towels for the perineal area. I'm growing the project to not only to improve the product, but also to have more awareness about all these issues. People are starting to talk about it a bit more, but still there's a lot of work to be done.
You know, telling stories, hearing stories, getting the word out is really, to me, the most powerful thing.